Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Jonah from Teachable, and today and this whole month is Creator Month. We're here to talk about the creators that power our business and dive a little deeper into beyond the business. What is it like to be a creator? What is choosing an education and impact based business like? And what is just the day to day of being a creator look like? So today we are talking to Shauna Thoresen. And how are you doing today, Shauna?
I'm good, Jonah. Thanks so much for having me today.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And just to set the stage, lay it out for anyone who may not know who you are, if you could introduce yourself, tell us a little about what you do, what your journey is. And I also always like asking, what is the transformation that you promise your students?
All right, perfect. Yes. So, my current flagship course is Insurance Click to Close. I teach insurance agents how to become fully self sufficient at generating their own exclusive leads and then how to prompt them to self schedule their appointment. So, I essentially free agents primarily in the Medicare, final expense, ACA, and life insurance space. I free them from ever having to chase down leads, purchase leads from expensive lead vendors, or having to hire a marketing company to generate leads for them. And I take them from not really considering themselves tech savvy to learning how to become their own lead generation expert and be able to use that skill set through the life of their business. Now, me personally, I first started running paid ads in 2015. And then in 2017, I launched my own digital marketing agency. It's Social Waves Media. And in that time, myself and my team, we've primarily focused on lead generation through paid social media advertising and then optimizing the customer journey. So I've been able to kind of take all of those years of moving through managing others. Ad spend and learning the ins and out of meta advertising and other platforms. And I'm able to share that with insurance agents in a way that they're able to move through the steps and truly become self sufficient at generating their own leads. Oh no, you're muted, Jonah.
Thank you. Before I get into any other questions, how the heck did you figure out such a specific audience that you're going to serve? And it feels like, yeah, you had multiple skills. How did you hone in on that?
Yes, good question. Because a few years ago, I probably would have never guessed that this was the course that I had created. I've worked across numerous different industries. And in fact, most of my clients were course creators. So I already kind of knew the ins and outs of what that lifestyle could be like. And then I started working with a top performing ACA and Medicare insurance agent. And in working with him in under 1 month, I not only increased the quality of his leads, so that increases conversions, but we decreased his cost per lead by 75%. And in talking with him, I became familiar with what the current options are for insurance agents. Many times it's purchasing it from lead vendors, which you don't know where that lead has come from or what the message was. There's unfortunately some pretty deceptive marketing companies out there that will set up the ads and then kind of trap the agents into having to have that overhead, and also not letting the agent control their message. So, in having that conversation, I kind of saw that there was an opportunity to actually step in, because the truth is, insurance agents are smart enough and more than capable of fully managing their own lead generation campaigns.
Hmm.
They just need the right step by step guidance and in a way that they're able to actually apply actionable steps. So, in kind of seeing that hole and talking with that current client is what made me make the decision to go for it and to make this course.
That's so cool. So initially the you were having clients, but now you teach these clients how to manage themselves, basically?
Yes. So I have still kept a few of my long term clients, and I also have team members that help me with some of those one on one clients. But the reality is, the overhead to actually hire someone that knows what they're doing and the ads manager doesn't make sense for a lot of insurance agents. And so they were getting sucked into purchasing leads or just relying on grassroots marketing, or having another company come in and take over their ads manager for them. And in providing this course, they're able to manage their own campaigns in as little as 15 minutes every other week, Or if they make it real big and they decide, hey, I just want to hire someone, they're going to know exactly how to manage them because they're going to already know the ins and outs and they're not going to be taken advantage of.
That's really cool. So, where exactly did that switch happen? Because I always think it's fascinating with creators when you make the choice to be an educator versus growing a service or creating more of agency. Like, why did you choose to go and teach people how to do it themselves versus just growing your agency?
It was something, to be totally honest, that I did consider, because kind of opening up this world and speaking to other insurance agents. I do have agents come to me all the time and say, can you just manage my ads? And the reality is, what's best for them as the insurance agent is to just invest a little bit of time and a little bit of money to actually understand how to manage their own lead generation campaigns. And so that has kind of been a different mindset for some of the agents that come into me, is actually letting them know you actually can. I promise. I have agents that are in their 60s that are like, I couldn't get into Facebook. I couldn't even get into my personal Facebook page, that are now fully managing their own lead generation campaigns and understanding what the data and metric means. So I knew it came down to these insurance agents, they don't need to know everything about meta advertising. They only need to know what they need to know about generating leads specifically for their insurance line of business. And so I was able to take that, put that into actionable steps, test it with a beta group to make sure that what I taught actually was working. And then I've released it to the world and it's done incredibly well. It's
Huh.
grown organically, it's grown word of mouth, the things that I'm hearing from my students. And so that just gives me the motivation to keep going and figure out not only how can I continuously keep this course up to date and keep it relevant, but other possibilities that are out there.
Yeah. I'm gonna pry at you a little more for that decision because uh I like how you highlight just the opportunity and it um kind of just the moral. It's better to teach people, but personally, had you done much education? Do you feel a drive for that? Because I know a lot of people either don't feel like they know enough or just don't feel like an educator. So was there internal drive or was that something you have to overcome?
Well, so two things. So, one, I think that I've always kind of had a teacher's heart.
Mm.
Whenever I was working with my one on one clients, I had to teach myself to set boundaries, that my job wasn't to spend time educating why I made the decisions I made on the back end of their ads manager. It was my job to actually make them. And if they wanted to know why, then I need to set up additional consulting with them, which I did have coaching clients and DIY entrepreneurs that wanted to manage their own campaigns. So I was already kind of teaching that. But to be totally honest with you, I think there's something that a lot of almost course creators, people that are considering becoming course creators, struggle with, and even those that already have their course. And that's imposter syndrome. And that's the mindset of being like, who am I to actually say I'm an expert and to charge money for this and to put this out there? And am I special enough, or do I have what it takes to actually get it out there? And full disclosure, I struggled with that greatly in the very beginning. Even as I was going through my beta launch, the way that I decided to launch this course was I got a list of about 15 insurance agents that were willing to pay for the course. It was a significantly lower price than it is now, but I still had them pay so they would be invested. And then I had 6 group coaching meetings with them. So that way they could move through the course. Group coaching was not something that was included in the course or intended to be included, but I wanted to interact with them. I wanted to hear what they had to say, what questions they had, so I could see if they were actually getting results, and then I could update the course. And in moving through that, getting to see the results that the agents had and what they had to say and their excitement behind it, really helped me push through that imposter syndrome. I think that imposter syndrome can be a good thing because it keeps you self aware, but it can be a bad thing if it prevents you from just taking a risk and putting something out there. So moving through that, and then honestly, at the end of those 6 weeks of having those interactions, those agents wanted to keep meeting with me, and they let me know
Mm.
this has really impacted my business because we're able to ask you questions about other digital marketing elements when it comes to insurance lead generation and customer journey. And so that's what spurred the birth of the sister membership that goes along with the course. I pretty much very quickly put it together what it would look like. Let those people opt in at a lower price to be founding members. And now it's a thriving membership that I would say about 50% of the students that enroll in the course hop into the membership. And yeah, it's a really great community that we've been able to build up and I've been able to grow with my team. And that's helped me personally. So, if I'm being totally honest, I struggled with that as well, even as the course was being successful. And I think that a lot of people do. It's just not always talked about.
Yeah. Well, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I hear this from many creators. It does sound like as soon as you start seeing and experiencing the impact that you're having on your students, that's imposter syndrome may never go away,
Yeah.
but it is that impact is a salve for that that feeling or a reason to keep going. Um,
Yes.
and then so I'm curious there, you mentioned that pretty immediately you started seeing that impact, but beyond the immediate results of you're helping them do their own advertising, collect their own leads, um, what what are some of the other impacts you hear from students as far as how your business affects their life?
It, to see individuals that have always struggled in either the tech world or in purchasing leads from online lead vendors, which oftentimes aren't even exclusive to the insurance agent. So they're rushing to try to call this lead. They don't know how they came in, and another agent already got to them and they lost out on the money. Actually getting to see the results.
Mm,
I mean, that I think that is the foundational drive for most course creators. I think as a course creator, you have to have three different elements. You have to, one, you have to identify a area that you have a solution to. And for me, it happens to be in the business world, but it could be a hobby, like how to create the perfect holiday wreath or something that enriches someone's life. So you see there's a need. Two, you have to be willing to market it. You have to be willing to go public. You can't hide it from your friends and family and your Facebook. You can't hide it from people. You have to be willing to get out there and shout out to the world that you have a solution to that. And then three, you have to genuinely care about what the results are. And that's the only way that I think that a course can have longevity. So, in hearing my students' success, of course, that makes me extremely excited. But I'm always looking for ways that I can improve the course, that I can add content. And I'm a course creator that gives my students lifetime access to any and all updates. So even when students came in a year ago, they got the update this year when I did the yearly audit. Having a Facebook ad course, I have to keep it up to date. They get updates throughout and exactly where it happens in the course. So that way they know that I still care about them, even though they came in at a different time and I'm still trying to bring in new students. I still care about the core group that have access to the course and I want them to always feel taken care of.
that's a yeah, you're in a tricky field where whether or not you want to, you would have to update it as
Yes. That's why I almost didn't make one. I was always like, do I really want to go into this world? So it's true.
So, uh, on the reverse, and you've kinda talked on the edge of it, but I'm curious uh, how having a body of students that are growing and discovering and stuff, how that's impacted your life, and whether it's specific tips or more ethereal, philosophical things. What is it what is it like to have a regular interaction with people like that?
It is it's extremely special to put something out there and to even hear one person say that it helped them. When I was doing my first round of testimonials, the way that we decided to set that up was I had a team member interview agents that are willing to be interviewed. Then we listened to their video and we put together a testimony and then asked them if that was okay. We took it straight from their words. And when I was listening to the video playbacks, I did have to pause the video, go to my husband, cry some happy tears because at the end of the day, as a course creator, yes, you want to make money. Like, of course, I want to make an income from doing this. But two, I genuinely care. I always say that my course is for sale, my integrity is not. And I
Mm.
think that leading with honesty and trust from the very beginning is very important. So I want to deliver what I say. And I had one agent that said, if I had known about this course a few years ago, it would have saved me $10,000. And I'm just so excited from the freedom that it's giving me moving forward. And to hear that actually from someone and say that my course made an impact on their business, it was literally the best feeling in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure on some level at this point, uh, must be hard to contemplate ever stopping doing what you're doing.
It is true. It has been a shift in this is a new arm of my business that I am putting more focus on. I'm wanting to make sure any of my team members that are ads coaches that are helping agents that they're trained in not only in how to manage ads, but they need to understand the insurance industry. So it has been kind of a growth period of restructuring, but it has been so much fun because it has opened my little solo world of working in this office. I'm interacting with people all day, every day, and it's absolutely wonderful.
So in that shift, has it I'm curious were there goals or ambitions you held for your life before this that have changed now that you're in this space or in
Yes,
this
I
business?
think even though I was a business owner and I had a real live thriving business, it really I had to be a part of it every single day in order for it to continuously be running correctly. So I kind of created a job for myself. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs create jobs for themselves. So yes, maybe I went on vacation, but do I trust someone taking this ad account or I'm still going to check in to make sure they're doing right? So I had that job for myself. And now I can see the freedom of being able to set myself up that I can still have my course running in the background. It's still serving individuals. But I mean, this summer I went on an epic trip for 3 weeks and I set
Mm.
things up where I didn't even have to check in. It was my first time to Europe. I went to Norway. It was an amazing bucket list trip. And I actually was able to disconnect and nothing broke. So that's very nice to know that you're able to do
Yeah.
that as a course creator.
Yeah. And so deeper into just kinda like what your life looks like, what is a day for a course creator at the moment? I know when you're creating a course, that's the
Yes.
focus, that's a lot of work, but
Yes.
at this point, I feel, depending on which side of the bed you wake up, sometimes you dread this or you're excited for this. What are those things for you in a day?
So I think that each day varies in the sense of sometimes I'm really having to hit the gas pedal really hard because I have so many things I need to do.
Mm.
But then it also sets me up to where I can have days that I'm able to disconnect. I would say a normal day is I wake up. I do have the membership that's the sister course. So I peek in at the membership. We respond to every single question in our Facebook group. I respond to me or one of my ads coaches, we respond to everyone. So I check in, I make sure that the ads coaches are okay. I make sure that all of the members are okay. I check what's going on in the course. And then I plan out if I need to go in and make any updates. Like I know right now in the next week, I have a little update that I need to make. Thanks, Facebook, for changing the ad set level of the ads manager on me this weekend. But so keeping up to date on that and making sure that my students are taken care of. But then it's tending to the early part of the customer journey now. It's
Mm.
knowing what emails, it's having my own funnel that's converting, it's connecting with affiliates and going on their different social media networks and being able to share the message and teach others. So it's kind of changed my day to day life of having to get in there and have lots of different individual clients that I'm checking on their ads and I'm communicating with them. It kind of lets me take it at a little bit different pace.
Mm.
And if I'm working a little bit later when no one else is, it's fine. Or if I finish early in the day, it's also good. So
So you kinda create your day to day as it goes.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, definitely.
So, I'm we were talking before we went live about how you were feeling like you need to get much more into social media and all of that, and I'm curious if you're excited about that, if those changes are fun. I always wonder with because we see creators build platforms with or without social media, and it's funny to go from having an established business to now expanding on social. So is that exciting? Is it scary? Is it if
It
you know the
it
space?
I am excited. Yes, we were just talking about how I've spent so much of my career focusing on other people's businesses growth. And that on its own through word of mouth and through connecting with different entrepreneurs, that just grew for me organically, which was wonderful. I never had to run ads or create a funnel for my agency. It just kind of picked up on its own from getting some really good results. But no, I am excited because that's just another arm of being able to teach. And I'm not the type of creator that feels like I need to filter myself and make sure I don't share my best stuff whenever I'm speaking to affiliates or whenever I'm going on even my own social platform. I think that the more that you share, the right client for me is going to be interested in learning more and actually knowing the exact linear step-by-step process to
Mm.
replicate the results that I'm sharing. So I am excited about it. I love connecting with others, and I think that it's just a different opportunity to teach in a different way, which could potentially bring in more of the right types of students for me.
Do you think that in that vein too, do you think now that you know how to do this, now that you've been through all the ropes, are there other audiences or other problems you wanna solve? Like, are you a great baker and now you're like, "Maybe I could do that too." Or you ride motocross, like, are there other
How did you know?
Yeah.
Um, I've I definitely see the door cracking to other opportunities to be able to replicate exactly what I did in this specific niche, primarily in the marketing world. I could even see potentially helping other course creators
Mm,
come through some of either it's not only just the imposter syndrome, but having an actionable step plan of how you would put together your course and actually be able to get it out there in the world. I think it's hard to have all three of those things I was talking about. Like a lot of people have the passion, they want to help, but then they just don't know necessarily how to market it themselves. Or maybe they struggle with the organization. So I do see other opportunities, whether it's in the course creator space or even in other industries that don't necessarily the marketing that they're taught is a little antiquated. So kind of getting in there and helping them learn how to generate their own business and take control. So I definitely see that. So I'm going to let all of this kind of level out a little bit, but no doors ever closed. I'm always I think every creator you're always thinking about like what you can create next. And you have to kind of put the brakes on and do what you need to do first before moving forward.
I love it. Well, Shauna, we gotta slowly wrap up here just because these are short chats, but definitely hope to dive deeper and talk with you in the near future. Um, Before we sign off, what's next? Where can people hear about you? What are you excited about? Where should people find out more about you?
Yes, absolutely. Well, you can find me on social media at my name. It's at Shauna Thoresen. If you are an insurance agent, I have a free training. All you have to do is go to my website. It's socialwavesmedia.com. You'll also see that linked on my socials at my name. And I have a free training that literally shows you the exact system that I teach inside of the course, as well as some other really good information that you can start applying right now. So I would say go check that out if you want to hear more. And yeah, I'm excited about what this next year has as this course just continues to grow and the students that I get to work with continues to grow.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Shauna, for everyone watching. Thank you for being here, whether you're watching live or the replay. If you're curious more about what Teachable can do for you, how you can turn your passion and your knowledge into a business, we've got links in the description and in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got a bunch more live events coming up and just regular videos coming out to help you do what Shauna has done and build an incredible business. Shauna, any last piece of advice to someone earlier on in the process before we close it out?
I would just say if you have it in your heart that you want to create a course, whether it's business related, life related, hobby related, spiritual related, start putting pen to paper and just break it down into tiny
Mm,
little baby steps and just push yourself to move through each step. Don't get overwhelmed by the big picture. Don't let imposter syndrome stop you. Just start moving through that little list, and you just never know. You could have the next great teachable course that's going to impact so many different people.
Love it. Thank you, Shauna. We'll talk to you soon. And everyone, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.